Hi guys, another quick info, quick tip type of little video here. This one's going to be focusing on courgettes, zucchinis, scallopini, summer squash, all your soft cucurbits, ones that you tend to cook anyway. It can happen with cucumbers, pumpkins, melons. It can happen with them all, but I'm more specifically focusing on the courgette family. Blossom end rot. It's a situation where you have little fruits on, like that guy down there, like these little guys down here, and they're looking like they're doing well, everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden, spontaneously, before they're big, they end up rotting from the end where the flower was attached. You can see hopefully through here. Oops. There is a scallopini, and as you can see, it's still got its flower attached. These flowers here that don't have a fruit are the male flowers, and obviously these guys here with the fruit are the female flowers. There's a couple of reasons that blossom end rot can happen. Inconsistent watering, where they go from having a good amount of water to no water, and then watering again, from having no water at all to then being heavily watered in the cases of like heavy rains and dry seasons and such. But also it can happen when there is a lack of fertilization. That can be caused by a lack of pollinators, or it can also be caused by a lack of male flowers being open at the same time as female flowers. A couple of ways to get around this. Be really consistent with your watering. It doesn't have to be heaps, but if you water them the same amount every day or even every second day, so long as it is consistent, they should do fine. They should produce you fruit and everything should get along okay. Having a good number of plants. Obviously here I've got far too many in such a small space, but it's how I plant and I find it works for me. Having enough plants means that even if the plant with the female flowers, and obviously what will then go on to be fruit, if it doesn't have its own male flowers, the pollinators can use the male flowers from another plant, even another variety, to pollinate the fruit on that separate plant. Where this can become a problem, as you can see, I've got scallopini and courgettes, both greens, yellows, summer squash, all in the same small area. Where that becomes a problem is if I was going to be saving seed from these guys. I do typically save seed from almost everything that I grow if I can. However, these guys are one of the exceptions to the rule. I've tried year over year to get mature fruit to be able to then go on to harvest seed from. But even fruit that's been on plants that has literally grown into huge marrows and has literally been left till the plant is dead and gone around it, and then I've brought it in, and then I've harvested the seeds, and then I've dried them, they unfortunately still, even though the seeds are there, the seeds just were not viable. So I've come to the place where, unfortunately, until I find maybe a different variety or something along those lines, I tend to buy my seed for these every year. It's just, it became so much of a hassle, but also a heartache, because every time I'd think, oh yes, I've got one, and then after all the hard work, I do a test germination to see that they were okay, and it turned out they weren't. So cross-pollination for me isn't a concern, because I'm not intending on taking seed from these. These are just simply grown for food, and the next year I will purchase a brand new lot of seed. Again, a number of these are hybrid varieties also, So again, it makes it very, very difficult to take seed from them and have them grow true. So for these guys, I'm not concerned about cross-pollination for the next generation. So it is advantageous of me to have lots of different plants that are capable of pollinating one another, just in case we get fruit flowers on one plant and no male flowers coming through. So I hope those little tips and little bits of information help you. One last thing, same as with beans, the more you harvest with these guys, the more they'll produce. So when they're ready, try to avoid letting them grow to marrows, though even if you do, they will still, in most cases, continue to produce more fruit. But it is better. You will get a far more consistent fruiting from them if you continue to pick them. Also, removing any blossom end rot fruit. As soon as you see that it's looking like it has blossom end rot, remove that fruit. It's not going to get any better. That is just going to rot, and you do not want rotting fruit dropping onto the stems of the plants because they are very, very prone to fungal and mildew type diseases. So remove your blossom end rot fruit. Have a lot of plants for pollination. Make sure that you continue to harvest, and you should see yourself with a pretty decent crop all the way through. We're mid-January now, and yes, you can still buy courgette plants at the moment, or you should be able to in most areas in New Zealand, and you should still have enough time to get them in the ground, so long as you water them, give them enough support to grow into mature plants, and you should still have enough time to get a crop if you haven't already got them in. Hope that helps, guys, and catch you in the next one.